Yes. Oh, man. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. Oh, hold on. Let me catch up here. Let me start at the very, very top. Hello, hello. Oh, thank you, Natalie, for everything you do for us. God bless you forever, my friend Maria. Thank you so much. I'm happy to do this, guys. Wow. Yay, live wall over here. Hey, Fraz. Hey, Chris. Hey, guys, just trying to show some love. Hey, aw, thank you. Hey, Vanetta. Oh my God, we're all here. Why not beans rice? He's gonna buy them all the time for you. He's like, oh, you guys are so sweet. Oh, I love our little community. This is cool. Hey, Silly Frosty. Hey, everybody. Divine Maxine, peace, all the good vibes. All the incredibly good vibes. Feels good. How are we feeling? How's everybody feeling in this new moon energy? Well, an Aquarius energy. Yes, we are all. Yes, it is. Hey, Jeff, we're live. All of us, we're together. Oh, yes. Oh, hey, Emily, Astro Twin, yes. I mean, talk about same frequency. When you meet someone, they're the same sun sign, same moon sign, same rising, there's that affinity. But when you get 3 out of 3, or when you get 2 out of 3, it's like super, super vibrating. Oh, I love you guys too. Yes, holy moly, Master Choli. Oh my God. Yes, new moon rituals for sure. Aw, aw. Man, I remember growing up, I would always be so insecure because girls would be like, okay, you're my best friend. But then they'd be like, well, there's like 15 other girls that are my best friend. And I would be like, that's not how it works. Anyway, but thanks, Maria. You guys are fun. Aw. Okay, so I mean, okay, 2 minutes. Are we good to get started? I don't know. I feel so nervous, like going live. I was that actor that couldn't do like live stuff too, like on stage. Like, ugh, I'd rather just like record it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started if that's okay with everybody. Like I've been floating, wondering how I am these days. Wow. Okay. Sag and Cancer rising. Yeah. Okay. So one of the good things, Chris Davis, is that this new moon energy is going to be really great for kicking bad habits. So you might feel like you've been floating, wondering who you are these days, but that thing is something that can be cracked. Okay. Now I'm being a Capricorn, guys. I'm all about using stuff to the maximum. I mean, you could just, you give a Capricorn like a piece of poop, and the Capricorn's gonna find a way to, what's that joke, like wrap it in tinfoil and put some earfish hooks and like, okay, it's like all about getting the use out of things. So even with really difficult energies, even with really challenging energies, I'm always going to be real and honest with you guys about how it can manifest, but then also give you guys the tools and ideas as to how you can actually use it to make it work for you. Okay. So Cap, Sun, Cap, Moon, Stellium, and Aquarius. Wow, Chris. Okay, that's a lot of depressing energy. I'm not going to say it like that, but you know what I mean. It's just rough. It's heavy. Stelliums, it's a lot of concentration of energy in one place. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I know with short notice, I mean, when I woke up this morning, I didn't know I was gonna do like a live moon reading until I saw you guys' comments on the other video. So if you don't have your chart, that's okay. You can follow along later when this posts. You can rewatch this with your chart and follow along. I have the chart of the new moon. Got this from Astro Dienst. And then I also have a chart of someone who is no longer with us, but we still have, just for example's sake. Okay. So the biggest thing about this new moon in Aquarius, it's making 1 or 2 major aspects. So that's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward, so to speak. And we have those 2 aspects with the moon conjunct Mercury first. So new moons are always new beginnings, bright, brand spanking new energy portals that you can go through and try to make things happen that you want for yourself in your life. And you get this energetic boost to be able to do that. And then that's just demarcated by different characteristics of like what's actually going on in the sky. So the new moon being conjunct Mercury is going to give you not like a loquaciousness per se, but it's going to quicken the thoughts. It's going to quicken the connection between your emotions and your, oh, my connection is unstable. What are you talking about? That's supposed to, okay, I don't know if you guys can see me still. It says my connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. So if it bops me off, that's why. Okay, moving on though. So the next aspect, basically this new moon is conjunct Mercury, which is the planet of the mind. It's also our sensory perception. So it's how we take in information and how we dole information back out. It's also squaring. The big thing that like we're talking about is that unpredictability. It's that shock to the system. Now, here's the thing with Uranus, and here's the thing that kind of makes me really nervous and so almost reluctant to talk about astrology, is that everyone has a different chart. Everyone has different energy signatures. So that's why I was like, bring your chart so we can talk about this stuff like as it's relative to you guys. So feel free to ask me any questions, ask anything specific, or if you're confused about anything, just ask me to slow down. With astrology, even if you're not ADD, it's just so easy to just digress and go down all the different foxholes and rabbit holes and all kinds of little veins and capillaries of stuff. And you'll see, I'll point it out, you'll see exactly why, okay? Okay, so the moon squaring Uranus, it is squaring its natural ruler. Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus. However, it is in the sign of Taurus. Okay, so Uranus is challenging this new moon, but it's in a sign that is really all about thinking things through. So while the squares are always, the squares, conjunctions, the aspects, so to speak, in astrology are basically words that describe a connection between two sources of energy. So I'm a source of energy, you're a source of energy, the planets are all sources of energy. So with the square aspect, it demands action. It demands something to be done, something to get done. It's that tension that's necessary for action to happen. And it's when there's too much of that tension that it can translate into stress, fears, nervousness, anxiety, and that triggers all kinds of other little mechanisms and what have you. So because the sources of energy are at cross purposes, they can manifest as obstacles, they can manifest as more frustration, but it's those obstacles and that frustration that demand that our character really come through as far as how we handle these things, okay? So I don't want you to get discouraged that this square is happening. Because it's in the sign of Taurus, this is saying that if you think it through, if you can really be, not rushing the gun, not jumping to conclusions, not speaking before you think, if you can really take that in and try to harness that Taurian energy, because it's going to have that Taurian flair to it, it'll work. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to launch or begin at this time, it'll work. It'll work. Okay? So at this time, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling nervous, if you know what it is that you want to do, but there's all these obstacles and there's all this stuff you have to do to get to that place where you really want to be, just over these next 2 weeks, really focus on maturing that sense of, with Aquarius, it could even be alienation because this is rebellion, right? Yeah, we love rebellion on Watch Natalie. Okay. Wow, Cap rising. Wow. Sun, moon in Pisces. What is that? Okay. So basically what I do here, so this is the chart of Marilyn Monroe. Okay. So she is Leo and the Ascendant. So if we want to see what's going on transit-wise with Capricorn on the Ascendant, like what you have, we turn the wheel. We literally, I don't know how it looks to you, but then we just put Capricorn on the Ascendant. It might be backwards to you, I'm not sure. And then we have everything here. See that? Okay. So, wow, if you have Capricorn rising or Cancer rising, or if you're a Capricorn or Cancer, the eclipses have been especially for you. Okay, now with the new moon in your second house, for those of you who are that Cap Sun rising, yes, they have been. Let me hold on. There you go, Emily. I got you. Okay. Yeah, they've been really, really intense for you. So if you've been coming through that, this new moon in Aquarius is going to be in your house of values. What you value, it's also a revenue stream. So there could be like a whole brand new, different, out of the box, very creative, maybe even a little bit rebellious, but definitely probably innovative, could even have to do with online and the internet revenue stream that is going to be really great for you. Okay, it could come up surprisingly. It could be a little bit of a shock even to you. However, with the moon conjuncting Mercury, you'll be able to be lightning quick in thinking through the whole thing. So as long as you make sure that you're being thorough, you'll be okay. It'll open up for you, and it'll be a path that you can walk down, and it'll be something that's viable, because there's not much else challenging this new moon. We just have Uranus, and I feel like it's just not that bad. But I mean, I kind of would say that I have like an Uranian flair to my chart. So if you're used to working with Uranus, so if you look at your chart down here, you'll see the visual representation. And then down here, these are all of the aspects in your entire chart. Okay, so these are the planets, and then how they interact with each other are shown right down here. Okay, so those little squares, those little triangles, those little circles with little lines, those are all of the aspects that they're making. Oh, shoot, I haven't been plugged in this entire time. Sorry, guys. Just saw my mic right here. I'm sorry. Aquarius is my 8th house. So if you have Aquarius in your 8th house, this has to do with, that's the exact opposite of the second house. So the second house is what you have. It's your values. It's your money. The 8th house is other people's values, other people's money. So you could have success opening a new line of credit, or doing like a joint venture with someone else, both of you teaming together. Now, get you there. I saw my chart once. Seems like I had stuff everywhere, but most was in Capricorn. That's so funny. Yeah, Jeff, you got to get at least like your rising, so we know where to start the wheel. Then we'll know where your all that Capricorn is and what house it is. Thank you, my beautiful souls. Lots of good vibes. Aquarius in my 8th house. Wow. Okay. My husband and you have the same birthday, Natalie. Daphne Woods. Cool. Your husband shares the same birthday with, oh my God, David Hawking, Elvis Presley, and Kim Jong-un. Cap rising 29 degrees. That's an anaretic degree, Val. I would Google an anaretic degree. Like when you're at the critical degrees, that's like a huge, it means a lot. I'm not going to go down that path, but okay. See what I mean already? Now here's the thing. Here's the thing studying the astrology is that it's relative to what's going on with you. Now, listen, the Venus-Mars square isn't like directly connected to the moon, but it's still the energy is still happening. So it's happening in somewhere in our lives, but check this out. I'm going to make a statement, and then I'm going to show you how I got to that statement. So for some of you, what's going to be really important at this time and over the next 2 weeks is that you do not lower your standards. You might be sexually frustrated, okay? And you might be tempted to lower your standards. However, you could be susceptible to a sexually transmitted disease or an infection or something like that. How'd you get to that explanation, Natalie? Well, let me show you how we do this. So, okay, I have some little notes here, but if you see, okay, so the moon is conjunct Mercury for this transit, for this new moon, right? Now it's also, now Mercury's got aspects going on too. And we have Mercury, oh, what's that? What's this over here? What's that? It's a little sextile. Okay, it's sextiling Mars. Mercury is sextiling Mars. That's an opportunity. Now, Mars is what is squaring Venus. Okay, now if we look down here, we have Mars squaring Neptune, which is that deception. It's that God, fuzzy blurriness. Okay, so did you see how I made like all those crazy little connections to get to that, and then make that statement about it? See how that works? All of that leading back to the moon, because everything is connected. So you have to follow that path of energy. It's almost like, what's that thing with the doctor? Well, they hit your knee and your foot shoots. It's like that. Okay. So because the moon is conjunct Mercury, Mercury is sextiling Mars, which is an opportunity. Okay. It's a possibility. You have to capitalize on it and make it happen. Doesn't have to happen, but it's there if you want it. And because Venus and Mars are squared, there's probably a lot of, I wouldn't even say, bedroom type of passionate frustration. So there's like a passion, but then there's like a, the obstacle, right? So for some of you, it could be long distance. It could be what have you. So because Mercury is sextiling Mars and Mars is squaring Venus, we also have Mars is what's squaring Neptune. Mars square Neptune is really, really difficult for judgments. They're at very cross purposes. And with Neptune is where we have that delusion, illusion, self-deception, self-delusion, where we want to think the best, or we want to think something's great, or we want to believe, but it's at that cross purposes with Mars. So what we believe and the action that we're taking could be just totally okay. And then Mars and Neptune can lead to that sort of vulnerability for, disease and toxins entering your body. So if you're feeling that urge and you're feeling really rebellious and you just want to break out, just be really careful and use the Taurian flavor of that Iranian energy and think it through. Really take a deep breath and make sure that you are being true to yourself, because that's what you're really wanting. That's really what this new moon's about, is being really true to yourself. I have some bullet points here. The bullet points, before I forget: breaking bad habits. Do not lower your standards. Think twice. Be flexible. Speak carefully and be true to yourself. Okay, so be flexible. I want to go in on being flexible, being open. So not really attaching to the outcome, not really attaching to other people's perceptions, other people's expectations, staying flexible in regards to your own positioning and your own, because Aquarius can be extremely fixed, and so is Taurus. The fixed signs are like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Okay, they're just like, oh my God, has anyone ever tried to get like a Taurus to do something they don't want to do, or a Leo or an Aquarius? Okay. Yeah, it's intense. It's intense. I wouldn't, or Scorpio, like it's just, yeah. So with this fixed energy, you just don't want to be that person. You don't want to be the one who's like, oh my God, they're getting like the Joker when an immovable, when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Yeah, too many times with the Taurus. Yep. Yes, Daphne, exactly like smoking. Absolutely. This would be a great time to try that. Okay. I would expect you to that would actually play out pretty well, because that's where you get your Mars Venus square. Very likely is that you have this urge that can't really be met. It can't really be expressed, the urge. So that would be fulfilling the little astrological prophecy for sure. My 3 kids are Leos. My wife is a Scorpio. Oh my God, your kids are probably so much fun. Oh my gosh. Did not afford the ring. I could have. Oh, okay. That's guys. The Taurus. Aquarius rising, Scorpio sun, and Cancer moon. Wow. Wow. That's when you have that aspect born into your chart, when you are squaring yourself, it creates a lot of internal tension, and then you carry that through in your life. So you're sort of, and honestly, if you look at, you know, certain charts of certain people that have accomplished certain things, you really see a lot of internal tension because it has to find an outlet, it has to find expression. So that's another thing too. If you guys are born with Moon square Uranus, or even Moon in Aquarius, or Moon in the 11th house, those kind of affinities, it's called an astrological affinity, you're going to handle this particular new moon in Aquarius pretty well. It's going to go pretty positive for you. Okay, just like Mercury retrograde. We're going to be entering that shadow soon. And those born with Mercury retrograde are going to have an easier time because they're born to, they know that energy. They sit in that energy very successfully. It's very familiar to them. So that's about 20% of the population, I think. 80% of us are going to have kerfuffles coming up to deal with in that Mercury retrograde. Okay. Oh, Libra moon. I love Libra moons. Hi, Troy. I'm a Cap and I fall for Leo, but her Scorpio sister seems to be able to enter my dreams. Oh, wow. Be extremely careful. Cap fell for Leo. Art, I think I'm a Cancer, Leo, Libra, Cancer, Libra, Leo. Okay. Wow, guys. Yeah, so a lot of fixed sign energy. So you want to look at your chart. This new moon is going to be in 4 degrees 21 minutes Aquarius. So if you have your charts in front of you, look for Aquarius and then look for where the 4 degrees around about falls. And you start counting at the beginning where the ascendant is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for Marilyn, this would be her 7th house. So you guys can take a look. And that house is the area of your life where you can expect these energies to reveal themselves. Okay, let's put it that way. Reveal themselves. So we talked about Aquarius in the 2nd house. We talked about Aquarius in the 8th house. There was something else here. Give me a second. There was something. Oh, and Uranus. That's right. So Uranus is going to be in 2 degrees Taurus. So then you want to also look where the early degrees of Taurus falls in your chart. You also want to look at Scorpio and Leo. So that's what we call an axis. So you have Aquarius and Leo, and then you have Taurus and Scorpio, the early degrees of those 4 signs in your chart. That's the axis that's going to be like dinged. Ding. Okay. And if you have any planets in a 10-degree orb, which means that you can count 10 degrees on each side. So 4 to 14 degrees Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. You want to see if there are any planets in those early degrees of those fixed signs, because when this is kicking off, we're like in this energy, this is kicking off. And if it's affecting one of your personal planets, if it's affecting any planet base, you know, that's what you're going to look for, more flavor to it. And this is where things get really sticky with astrology, because there's 12 signs. There's 10 luminaries, well, not 10 luminaries. There's 10 planets, but the sun and moon are technically luminaries. And then there's 12 houses. So we follow the line of energy throughout everything. Like, you have to really look at this as in its entirety, as a full blend, which is why I'm always like talking about astrology. My Venus is in Aquarius, 5 degrees. Oh my gosh. So this is going to be a really, really cool new moon for you. I don't know what aspect your natal Venus is making, but if your Venus is sitting right there, then you have attention, Mercury, the sun, the moon, Uranus. So there could be a really nice development there for you over the next 2 weeks, depending on what house it is. Do you know what house it's in? Silly Frosty. Oh, Chris, 10 degrees Aquarius, Venus. Okay. Same 4 to 14. Yeah, same thing. You have your Venus. You guys like different stuff. You guys like what's different, what's odd, what's unique, what's, you know, unconventional. So you're going to be getting some more of that energy over the next couple of weeks, depending on what house it is in. I'm bad with figuring out houses. I get confused. That's cool. Let's take a look. So this is where the house begins. And then you look for this little line right here. So sometimes this looks pretty evenly spaced apart, but sometimes they can look super skinny and super not skinny depending on the degrees of each house. So each sign has 30 degrees, but each house could have more or less because of something called interception, but we're not going to go over that. Okay, Taurus is in my 11th house, which is where my part of fortune and north node is. Okay, so let's take a look. 11, 10, 9, 8. Wow. Okay, so if Taurus is your 11th house and you have Aquarius very likely in your 8th house, there could be a surprise. One of your associations, a board member, a club you belong to, a friend, an acquaintance, a friend of someone who supports you, who really does, so because the 11th house supports the 10th house, they could approach you with some sort of mutual, something about sharing resources, like a joint venture, starting a business together, some sort of exchange, maybe not even exchange, but with the person's resources, because that would be your 8th house as well. It's also the house of very deep erotica and sensuality and deep soulful merging. So there could be someone coming forward in your life that is telling you how they really feel about you, all vibrations. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, Al for short. Scorpio, Venus, 16 degrees, Veneta. Holy moly, Masacholi. Yeah, so you are still going to 4 to 14. It's pretty close still. So let's see. Scorpio, Venus, 14. No, 16. 16. Where do we have? 2, 12. It's super close. It's still super close. You won't get the full force of it, the full force of it, Veneta, but you're still going to be feeling it. You're definitely still going to be feeling it. Let's see in that. Let me check something really quick here. Yeah, you probably have other stuff opposing that too. Yeah, flexibility is going to be super key here, you guys. Flex it. Oh, it keeps buffering. I'm sorry. Yeah, definitely. I know this was super last minute, you guys. And once again, this is sort of like just to see how it goes. You know, saw your guys' comments on grips loosen, so I wanted to try it and see how it goes. And I'll be tweaking this format, and then you guys can bring your charts for the full moon in Leo, and then we'll really get like in deep with this. Okay, does it give the GPS of my future castle? Aw, I want a castle too. 11 degrees Aquarius, 8th house, Emily. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. That's another person that's 8th house Aquarius. Wow. There could be something that you guys want to do that you might need someone else for, and you want to do it yourself. So just be really careful, really open-minded, really flexible, because other people's ideas are going to be, they're just not going to be exactly what you have in mind in terms of like your individual vision. For some of you, there will be that simpatico, but for others of you, this Venus squaring Mars and this Mars squaring Neptune could be cross purposes between you and someone else. And the challenge will be to mature through that frustration so that by the time you get to the full moon in Leo, you're at complete, full, independent self-expression, individual self-expression, okay? Because Leo and Aquarius are connected by opposition. So what one has, the other one needs. What this one needs, the other one has. So we're in this new moon of Aquarian energy. We want to be independent. We want to stand up for ourselves. We want to be an individual and carry out our own individual wants and ambitions and thinkings and everything, okay? But it's like running before you walk a little bit with the challenges to Uranus. Now, Uranus, you can take this square, right? It's, you know, squares create tension. Too much tension turns into stress. That could bring us down, okay? squares create that tension to manifest action. So if you just think it through and you take the right action and you're not impulsive, you can use that Iranian square to do something that you've never done before, like break a bad habit or start something new, start a new business, start a new regime for yourself. And that'll depend on whatever houses these are in. So for those eighth house Aquarius, you could start a new beginning in an intimate personal relationship with someone. Some of you could even be taking something to the next level where there's a new beginning in terms of being intimate with someone in a way that you really hadn't been before. Maybe. I don't have questions. I just love you doing your thing and being amazing. Erica, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thanks. Patricia, I miss so much. Oh, you're good, Patricia. You're good. This is like, we're all just like, just seeing how it goes. Full moon and Leos, I will be very way more structured. I can't believe how all over the place I am. I miss so much. Aquarius in the 5th house and Lilith. Wow. Wow, Patricia, that's really cool. You really are Academia. Totally, man. Okay, let's do 5th house. Let me turn my little, okay. 1. Okay, we've got, wow, Patricia. So if you have your 5th house Aquarius, definitely is something could be coming to the forefront of your consciousness, having to do with sexuality, having to do with very taboo, under the surface stuff. So any kind of 8th house connection, you guys we're dinging a lot of 8th house stuff here. There could be personal revelations coming to the surface, and that could be how this Iranian energy manifests itself. If it's coming out of that, ding, 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 dinging you from the 8th house, it could be something coming up about your own sexuality, how you merge physically, spiritually, mentally on the deepest levels with another person. That could be shocking you, and that could lead to a breakthrough for you. And it would be a really good breakthrough. It would be something that could carry that momentum, carry that energy forward, and take you through the completion to that Leo full moon, which hopefully, if you're turning that tension and that stress into positive action, and action that will serve you in the future, instead of action that you're going to stumble through and then have to go back and redo it, or you messed up and blew it up, lost your temper. You know what I'm saying? So this is how the universe sort of gives us these little tests to complete. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Capricorn, yes. That's funny. Troy, don't feel invisible sometimes. Okay, I'm glad you said that, though, because this is also a very, very high-flying time for feeling marginalized, for feeling alienated, for feeling weird and not accepted for who you are. So for a lot of us, it's going to be really hard to be individuals and really hard to assert who we really are in the face of the world. Here's the thing about the world, okay? It's, it looks all great and shiny and sparkly on TV, people being this, people being that, but does that, when in your life, when you are being an individual, does that really land the right way as when someone on TV does it? No, not really. Okay, you'll find the hypocrites in your families, in your friend groups, in your work situations, that they just rah certain things on TV or in pop culture, but then when they see an act of kindness, or they see an act of unselfishness, or when they see graciousness or kindness and it triggers their jealousy from their dad or whatever the heck, they take it out on you and you're like, oh, what? Okay, so people are going to be at cross purposes to you being an individual too, okay? People are going to say, you're not falling in line, and that makes me feel insecure. So I want you to fall in line so that I feel more secure with the world around me. And you're like, sorry, man, can't do that. So if you're feeling alienated, if you're feeling really unaccepted, if you are feeling really bummed out about that, alchemize, alchemize, alchemize. Breathe through it. Meditate. Go within yourself, because you're not going to find the acceptance in those people around you who are just going to keep shitting on you. The more you keep looking for that acceptance from them, they know you're on the hook. They know it's like, okay, well, let's see how high they can jump now. I got them to, it'll be some display. They're going to want to see proof that you are sort of falling in line. So it's just going to, that's like a whole toxic cycle. So what you can use this energy for, Troy, over the next couple of weeks is to just go within yourself and just kind of indulge in the things that are so unique to yourself, that are so life affirming to you, that make you feel good about who you are and your personality. Don't mind if it's not finding acceptance anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And this is the perfect energy for that if you're feeling super alienated, because Aquarius is kind of like the ruler of the misfits. And, you know, we're just, I cut my own hair, you guys, and I keep finding pieces that are all messed up. I gotta get it. I don't know. Anyway, so just keep being you, Troy, because this is what I love about the internet, is it allows all the previously very marginalized people to come together, like us right here, right now. I am pretty sure all of us are weirdos, okay? Or have been called weirdos at some point in the past on the Watch Natalie channel. It's a pretty special frequency. So the Isle of Misfit. Yay. You're very, very welcome. Okay. Our community, Watch Natalie, the Artegan, our community loves you. So if you don't find acceptance out there, you're accepted here. Okay. I keep this very protected. This is a very special space, and I created it for people like us. Ooh, hold on. Vanetta, where do I start with learning astrology? Okay. Vanetta, what am I going to do? I will give you Betty. Now, this is if you're serious, and I know you guys are serious. So don't take her personal opinions on things. Just take what you can use and throw out the rest, because she says a couple of things that are like, anyway, more generational. But this is a book, you guys. Astrological Insights into Personality by Betty Lundstedt. This is going to teach you so much. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. It's great. It's like really great. Astrological Insights into Personality. This is where you can, this is a fantastic place to start. I'll just give you a little preview of the table of contents. Okay. And then I'll also put together, look at all these aspects. I'll also put together a little list of other stuff and resources, because it's just, I'm not an astrologer by any means. I'm just a geek about it. I just geek out on astrology. Excuse me. I just like to geek out on astrology. Okay. So what was I even talking about? See how it can happen? How we just like, let's see. Silly Frosty, I feel like a misfit even when I'm among other misfits. Oh, I relate to you so well. I know how that feels. I always think that I found I always feel like I found like my people, like I found my tribe. I always feel like I found my people. And eventually it's something happens where I'm like, oh, you're not my people. You don't really love me, you know? So it's okay if you don't have like your people. You have Watch Natalie, first of all. So everyone that's here or wants to be here, okay, like this is pretty solid. We're not going to just reject you. We're only going to reject you if you're mean, okay? So everyone's really nice. So yay, okay? Yes. Sheeple. That's true, Patricia. We don't judge on the Watch Natalie channel. That's a really big thing. Even on other spiritual channels, there's a lot of judgments. And I'm like, we don't do that here. We don't judge. I was told I was very confusing. You know, it is confusing. It's gaslighting. It's all kinds of confusion when they're trying to make you look and feel crazy. It's really frustrating. It really is. I can't wait to meet my soul friends. I'm proud of you, much as you're changing the world. Oh gosh, shucks, you guys. Everyone that knows me says I'm going to know why they say that about Capricorn Emperor. You are hilarious. Hi, Natalie. This is where we connect. I always think I found my tribe, but yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, that's this new moon in Aquarius energy conjuncting Mercury is going to be very stimulating. Now, listen, Mercury and the moon. The moon is how we feel. Okay, it's feeling. It's also what we sense about the world around us emotionally. And Mercury is the intellect. It's the thinking function. It's also sensory perception, the information that we take in through our senses and our spidey senses. So when they're together like this, we can have a tendency to emotionalize the intellect and intellectualize the emotions. So that's something that I think we can use to serve us, right? This is what my goal for when I do astrology videos is this. I want you guys to be able to use the energies instead of the energies using you. Okay, I know that sounds weird. It's almost like the energies just take over our bodies and start doing things, okay? Like that obsessive compulsive, you know? Like, I don't want that. I want us to just and that's part of evolving as humans, is to evolve through human instincts and urges and all that jazz. So I want you guys to get to the point where you feel like you're about to pop off and you're like, and you don't. That's a small example, but you know what I mean by that. Okay. 1111. That's, oh, they're showing me like the gateway, the portal. That was random. Yeah, 1111 gateway. Interesting. I'm totally accept my crazy normal. And the other crazy ones for not seeing. I'm with you, Patricia. I completely agree with you guys. The collective vibe is amazing. Moon is in Leo. Vanetta, your moon is in Leo? Get out. I love Leo energy. We don't judge. We just crazy Capricorn by nature. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta go, y'all. Love you, Natalie. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Daphne. Yay. Found new solstice just this week. Oh, congrats, Fraz. That's wonderful. Yeah, I would expect, because Aquarius also rules the 11th house, you know, naturally, friends, groups, associations, there could be surprising ways that you meet people with that Taurian flair to it that could lead to some really great places. Okay, that's another good one. I think all kinds of stuff today. My wife is studying Enneagrams and made me take the test today. I'm gonna whatever that means. Jeff, okay, Scorpios are so smart. Scorpios, I know they're a water sign, but they get a rap for that and being super passionate and all the keyword type descriptions of Scorpios. But the truth is that their minds are just intense. Their minds are just so always going, always analyzing, always thinking, always taking information in and analyzing at the same time that they're formulating. Like, it's a lot. So they would need some big things to chew on with that. So congrats. Okay. Let's see. Cap gets Scorpio. Yep. Aww. Wow. Okay. So let's see. Wow, Vanetta. So you've got, I forgot the degrees already, but there could even be a T-square happening there. That Leo with that Aquarius and with that Scorpio. You said there was that Scorpio placement. Dang. I should take a look at that later. Oppositions are very much needing the other energy to balance it out. 44 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. You guys are so much fun. My manager is so what I need. Aries who pops off rarely, but at the wrong time and to the wrong people. Guys, be so careful of that. Be so careful of, like, what was one of my things? Yeah, one of my bullet points. Look at, speak carefully. See that? That's one of the things is that's going to be really important, is to just be really careful with what we're saying. Okay. You know, I mean, generally, yes, of course, but definitely right now and over the next 2 weeks, you know, because like we're protected here. Like we're on the Watch Natalie channel, taking what we know out into the real world. No one else is trying to control their energies. Okay. No one else is trying to like really be self-aware and look at their emotions and like, so yeah, so other people can be popping off and it could be triggering us. And so we have to be the more mature, bigger people here. So just be super careful to mitigate risk to zero by controlling our own words, please. Yeah, man. I'm sorry, it's made so much anything. My readings were 4 times a Capricorn and Scorpio. Okay, I'll definitely do that. That's right. There was that epic love story with Scorpio Capricorn. I'll check in on that. Maybe for the daily on Monday, I'll do that update. Scorpio Venus 2, Ascendant Scorpio. I know that now. I believe for Speak of Angels, it's the end. North Node and South Node are important. Yes, Patricia. The South Node is what we need to let go of, and the North Node is what we strive for in this incarnation. So, for instance, damn, North nodes are. I'm gonna make a note. Okay, if you guys, we should probably end this somewhat soon, but I do want you guys to give me notes in terms of what topics you would like me to expand. I'm gonna make a note. Hold on, North node nodes. I'm just gonna put in nodes, because with astrology, every little thing can just take a huge, lengthy explanation. I'd love to meet a Capricorn, learning to read my chart now. Aw. Now the nodes are the moon placement at birth, past life. Okay, so here's a quick little something. So if you have anyone's sun conjuncting one of your nodes, the South Node, you've definitely past life karmic relationship with them, and does not necessarily mean that they're supposed to be with you or stay with you in your future. They represent, and they're connecting with an energy that you're familiar with, that you used to, but it's regressive because your soul is trying to achieve the North Node. Okay. So let's just take an example. In Marilyn's chart, she has her North Node in Cancer, 16 degrees Cancer, right here. And it's in her 12th house. So she's a Leo rising and has her North Node in the 12th house in Cancer. So that means her South Node is in Capricorn. Her soul was trying to get away from Capricorn themes such as ambition, ruthlessness, status, money, big money. Okay. I know that's really textbook Capricorn. And then move towards Cancerian traits, Cancerian themes of nurturing, self-love, self-care in the 12th house, which represents secrets, sorrows, self-undoing. So she was meant to work through all of her issues surrounding matriarchal, how she was treated. And that's what her soul was trying for. However, Capricorn in her 5th and 6th house, a lot of Capricorns probably helped her out a lot in her work, in her daily life, and creatively speaking. So it was familiar to her. It was something natural to her, that South Node in Capricorn. So it's a challenge to go into the 12th house. And if you're, okay, so that's just one little, you can apply that. Sag, Sun, and Rising. How do I know what house is Aquarius and what this will involve? I loved your reading for me. It made me think a lot, and my life has changed. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, Sag and Rising. Okay, so for you, my dear, we will take, that's so funny. So I can actually just turn this upside down. So you just put Sag on the first, on the number 1 house. So that makes you number 1, 2, 3. So all this activity is happening in your 3rd house, Amy. And that, where's that Taurus? 3, 4, 5, 6. So Taurus is going to be your 6th house and your 3rd house. So you can expect some changes or abrupt adaptations concerning your day job, your work life, your health even. So be careful. There could be a sibling of yours with that 3rd house influence. A sibling could have some big news for you or some surprising news for you. This is also small trips. You could be traveling a lot. in the neighborhood or different towns, different states, somewhere close by, not like overseas travel, but like itty bitty little travel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I'm just counting. Be careful, Amy, because your 4th house in Pisces, that Venus is going to square that Mars in, I can't tell if it's your 12th house or if it's your 1st house. So there could be, whatever does come up for you in communications or short trips or siblings or cousins, it could cause stress, some psychological stress in the family system, having to do with the past even perhaps, or the mother or father figure. But I don't have your exact degrees. But that's just a little something. I have 4 planets in my 12th house, a stellium. My husband has 6 in the 12th too. Patricia, you're so intense. 4 planets in your 12th house. That's like walking the 12th. This is the 1st house. This is your 1st house. And then the back of your head is the 12th house. So you're walking, Patricia, with like 4 planets. You're like walking around with all this energy that you don't get it, you don't see it, but everybody else sees it and feels it. 12th house. Do you like my little 12th house explanation? Oh, that's funny. Oh, you guys are, that's funny. Okay. Yeah. Well, Patricia, no, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think it's cute how you've got like, it's funny because the 12th house, it's like lost. It's just in your subconscious. It's in the back. It's gone. But other people can see it. So you're presenting, you're like going like this, and then all this energy is working and showing, and that's just funny. We got to get into that. Connection. Change all. Aw, thank you, Erica. Thank you, guys. Welcome, Carl, Lilith, and Scorpio. How do I figure out my chart? Belinda, go to astro.com, Astrodienst. Ooh, it's in the description, the actual little tabs and stuff, and then it's for free. You just need your correct birth information. Yes, 6, 1, yeah. Now we can do a live about the 12th house. Okay, I am writing that down. Okay, nodes, 12th house. 12th house. Okay. Yes, Patricia, psychic as well. 12th house is so, you're like in the other realm. Like your body's here, but you're totally in that other realm. So there's a lot of ease of that energy going from, okay, the veil that like is no, it's like a gossamer veil for you. My God, a meow. And maybe happy new moon. From New Zealand peeps. Thank you, Earth Angel. A cooking show. You're so cute. I wish I could have a cooking show. Oh, you're very, very welcome, guys. Okay, so yeah, okay, 52 minutes. We've been, honestly, guys, this has really flown by. Like just, I feel like I just hit, I feel like I just got on. I'm gonna take this, so far, we have the nodes and 12th house. Is there anything, oh, yay. Is there anything else that, choose, Emily, thank you for stopping by. Okay, is there anything else before we I almost said depart. Oh my gosh, like depart. I think I'm gonna watch The Departed next. Is there anything else? Nodes, 12th house. You pick it. I have really good recipes, to be very honest. Okay, so if there's nothing else for the astrology, and I'll be back for the Leo full moon in a couple of weeks. So that's up there already. You can ask YouTube to remind you whenever I can. Kevin, Natalie, you guys are so cute. Yay, this was great. This was so much fun. This was really fun. I'm sorry I was all over the place, but it'll get, I think it'll get streamlined as we do this more. So thank you guys for hopping on. This was way, way, way fun. And I will see you guys in a couple weeks, and probably in a different live chat before then. But for this astrology work, we'll come back for the full moon. Okay. Oh, you're very, very welcome, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me on Friday night. This was fun. We'll get our snickety snacks next time. Cool beans. Yahoo. All right, guys. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.